What up, YouTube? It's your boy Javon, and you're back for another installment of a little of this, a little bit of that. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of fun with it as I'm in my Prince bag. So I'm going to set in for a second before I get it going. If you're an 80s baby, you already know. I don't even know if this is how you play the guitar during that part. I just remember they were doing this during the actual movie Purple Rain. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, enough of that. All right, now I got your attention. Back to the lecture at hand. So, what I want to do with this little particular segment is just kind of express my appreciation, my newfound appreciation for vlogging. All right, so I mean, if you know me, you know that I try my best to stay at the very, very periphery of technology. I consume it just enough to try and stay in the loop, but I'm not a digital native and I don't allow technology to consume every aspect of my life. And so I'm still learning as I go here and still also deciding where my own particular boundaries are going to be at as it relates to my digital footprint. But I've come to really appreciate vlogging, and it's for some very, very simple reasons. If you're looking for some profound explanation as to why everyone needs to be vlogging and what it does for your self-esteem or what it does for your sense of purpose in the world or on your own platform, then you're tuned into the wrong episode. I have no insight, right? We're literally making these things up as we go. The one thing I know is that it's great to kind of be in control creatively in this space and to be able to just do whatever it is that you like to do. But pardon me, the thing that I've come to appreciate about vlogging is that this is really a digital way of writing diary entries, right? So for you tough mofos that I don't write no diary, dog, I get it, but what I learned a long, long time ago is gaining a mastery of your words is a very empowering thing. And consequently, and unfortunately, one of the things that society or the powers that be, or even someone in your close proximity can do to you to really shut you down is to remove your voice or to convince you that your voice doesn't matter. And so for me, being able to write first is when I was introduced to it. I make no, I make no bones about explaining aspects of my childhood, and I can recall having being court ordered at 10 years old to go see a psychologist, I believe she was. And so for 6 weeks, I had to go sit with the woman. And, as far as she was concerned, I was there to explain to her my thoughts, my feelings, my perspectives, and how I felt generally and overall about my then current space in life, which for the most part was fucked up at that point in time. I had just ran away from my mother and her boyfriend's apartment upon seeing him beating her up for the last time, as far as I was concerned. And, I pressured my grandmother into taking me in, at the threat of the courts interceding and putting me into foster care. And so one of the things that the family court judge ordered me to do was to go and sit with this clinician for 6 weeks. And so I had made my mind up, me being stubborn, that I wasn't going to talk to the lady. At that point in time, there was so many negative pits inside of who I was as a person and my lack of understanding and lack of maturity that I thought I would just sit there for the hour that we're there and then get up and leave. But it was after the second time that she informed me that she was not counting any of those first two encounters that we had as credit towards the 6 weeks that the court ordered me to go, because I sat there and pretty much did nothing. And so one of the things that she provided me with was a notebook. And she's like, hey, if you don't want to express your thoughts to me, that's fine. The goal is for you to express your thoughts, to be able to communicate what's going on with you, and to be able to physically and verbally process it out your body. I remember her telling me that. And so, I was skeptical, as anyone would be in that situation. But when she said that I could write in a notebook for the hour I was there and I could take it with me, and I only had to share it with her if I felt comfortable. But all she wanted to do was just see that I actually physically was writing in there. I could just flip through and she would see the writing on the pages, and that would be fine. I started doing that, and that was a very, very powerful thing that was injected into an otherwise very powerless young boy at that particular point in time. And so, how I related to vlogging is that again, we have an opportunity to carve out our own space, to say what's on our mind, to express our thoughts. Sure, there's a level of vulnerability, right? Mix that in with a culture full of trolling, where no matter what it is you put out there in the cyberspace, there's going to be someone or some people that their whole goal is just to say the most hurtful, most hideous thing that they can say to you just because they can, right? But to be able to put out your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own truths, create your own narratives, right, is a very, very empowering thing. And so I'm a advocate for vlogging, right? I don't even think that you should be someone in celebrity status or someone that people hold in high regard to be vlogging, right? Because I've sat and I've had conversations with complete strangers for hours and connected on so many different levels about things that whether they were random or they were something that, I really, really was passionate about. It was just a good sitting. It was just a good opportunity to build. And so vlogging can be seen that way. You can get more done in a 10 or 15-minute vlog, right? 20-minute vlog, actually speaking orally than you can with typing it out, right? Because if you're like me, when I see maybe 150, 200 words, I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to go on to the next thread, right? And so blogging is a cool way for individuals that, are in that space where they look at podcasts, they look at what people are talking about in common spaces and what's trending and what's going viral, et cetera, et cetera. Blogging is a great lane to be in. Now, it does come with certain pitfalls, right? You got to be very careful about what it is that you share with the world because anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of petty, right? And so I'm very mindful of that, but that doesn't discourage me from being able to turn on the mic and just say whatever it is I'm thinking, even if only one person hears it, right? Or whether it's a couple hundred people that listen to it. It's fulfilling for me because if nothing else, it gives me an opportunity to put something out here into a static space that I can come back to in 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and see if I still feel the same way about said topic as I did today that I did that recording. And I think that that's a very, very great thing to do as a source of self-reflection. For those of you who are readers or those of you that frequent movies a lot, think about something that you watched 10 years ago. And then if you watched it recently, you probably discovered that you see things just a tad bit differently now, or you should see things a little differently now than you did 10 years ago because of that old adage that if a man sees or acts the same way 10, 20, 30 years in the future, then he has wasted his life, right? Life should be about evolving, about raising your consciousness, about taking some of your experiences and being able to string along a great body of work for whoever you are as a person, regardless of what it is that you decide to endeavor in. And so for me, I'm excited about blogging because God willing, I want to be able to look back at these in 10 years, in 20 years, 25 years, and remember who I was at that particular point in time, why I felt the way I felt, what was my guiding light, right? What were the things that were making me apprehensive of holding back on some things that I probably would want to say, but haven't yet found the courage to say, right? Or just flat out, because I'm an educator, there's certain things that I just can't share on the airwaves, right? Because I do live in the world of public opinion. And unfortunately, it's not even necessarily about what an educator says sometimes. It's just the accusation that can be damning, right? So I have to navigate through that. But rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, that this guy right here won't be silenced, right? It just means I got to be real precise. It means that I got to make sure that what I say I'm able to stand upon. And then also, which is most important, should I say something that upon further reflection, I decide wasn't a good representation of myself, or I just was shooting from the hip and said some dumb shit. I want to be able to come back and be like, hey, as a real individual, I want to take ownership for what I said with this, that, and the third, and then try and make it right if at all possible, right? So to me, I'm uncancelable, right? Not because I'm in control of what other people think, but because I have the wherewithal and I have the understanding that where I'm coming from is a positive place in anything that I say. And I want to be able to stand on anything I say because I put a lot of thought into the world that goes on around me. I put a lot of thought into who I am. I do a lot of self analysis. And even if individuals don't agree with my perspective, that's fine. I'm willing to still come to the table and build. But if you want to try and X me out because I have contrary views to what it is that you believe, then that's your problem. Like, I'm not really going to concern myself with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a short, brief one, but check it out. Hey, if you are interested in vlogging, vlog away. All right. Send me some. Put it up on your Facebook. I would much rather sit and listen to 30 minutes of you giving me your authentic self about something than to see a quick, fast 15, 30 character post and be like, what the hell is he or she talking about? I need some clarification so I can kind of understand where you're going with this. So let's keep this going. Let's start a wave, right? Let's ride this. And on that note, I'm out.